Good afternoon, Millennium students. This is Miss Farley from the Guidance Department. I'm here with Miss Malone. We're here to talk with you today about course selection for next year. This is really important for our 6th and 7th graders. You're going to be choosing classes for your 7th and 8th grade years. So we're here today to give you a little bit of information, and then you're going to be receiving your course selection packets that have all the information that we're talking about today.
On January 13th, course selection packets will go home. Students return signed course selection sheets to their science teacher by Friday, January 22nd. Remember, that is return to your science teacher.
Students will be meeting one-on-one with a counselor to input course requests during science. Only students with a signed form will have this privilege. So, your homework tonight is to share the information in your course selection packet with your parent or guardian and return that form to your science teacher as soon as possible.
Hi, I'm Faith. I have some questions. Will I get all my electives?
Well, maybe. Each teacher is assigned approximately 130 students. It depends how many students want the same class. For instance, if 150 students want, let's say, Art 2D, then that means if you do the math, 20 students won't get the course. That's why the course selection sheet is so important.
Well, can I choose my teachers?
No, the course selection sheet will not have teachers listed. It will only have classes, so make sure you read the class description and pick the class that you're interested in, not just picking a class because you think a certain teacher will be teaching it.
Can I pick the order of my classes?
No, that's the computer's job. The computer randomly places you.
Do the students that go first have a better chance of getting what they want?
No, all the students, as long as you turn in your course selection sheet, will have an equal chance. The computer doesn't place you until the summer. So right now, we're just making sure we get course selection forms for everyone, because if you don't turn one in, that's when we're going to have to pick classes for you.
This is pretty important. If you lose your form, pick up a new form in the cafeteria. If you're unsure of what course to select, then talk to your teacher, or you can get a pass from your teacher to the guidance department to see your guidance counselor. Hey, I have a question, Faith. If you lose your form, where should you go?
The cafeteria.
Great job.
Application and audition classes are not on your course selection sheet. If you're interested in an application or an audition class, please make sure you refer to the form in your packet. If you're selected for an audition or an application course, it will be put in your schedule later, and the application or audition course becomes your number one choice. Applications can be obtained from the listed teachers on your form or in the cafeteria.
So, Ms. Farley, if you lose your form, you go to the cafeteria, and also if you're interested in application or audition, those forms are in the cafeteria. What a great place. Well, let's see what some of these application classes are. There's Tech Crew, Advanced Art Portfolio, Ladies Ensemble, TV Broadcasting, Yearbook, Office, Media, and Peer Assistance.
We also have audition classes. These are the classes you're actually going to do some kind of performance for in order to get selected. Those are musical theater, vocal ensemble, wind ensemble band, jazz band, orchestra 2 and 3, drama 3 and 4, and dance 4. In your course selection packet, you will also have a form that has e-pathways options. E-pathways are our virtual school options for students, in which you would take a class either here on campus in the Media Center or in addition to the school day in order to meet your educational needs. That form has some options for you, and it tells you the most important thing, which is you need to register at www.flvs.net for the course you're wishing to take. That registration needs to happen before we will put it on your schedule. So make sure you register if that's something you're interested in.
Wow, something new for next year? Let's look at these classes that are being offered. Creative Writing 2, Interior and Fashion, Puppetry, Intermediate French, Guitar 2, Web Design 2, Research. Wow, these all sound like interesting classes, but they're not guaranteed because they are new. We need to see how many students have an interest for them. That's why your course selection sheet is so important. Hey, look at that, what's at the bottom here. State mandate? What's that? Students must take a career and computing class in 7th or 8th grade. Students will be scheduled based on course availability. So if you pick up your schedule and you see this on here, remember it is a state mandate.
So, some other things to remember about course selection and classes that are going to show up on your schedule. All students must take at least one PE each year in middle school unless you complete a PE waiver form. If you need that PE waiver form so that you don't want to take a PE class, please make sure you get it in your packet, fill it out, and return it.
Also, you have to take a course in sequence. For example, you have to take Drama 1 before you take Drama 2. And I know some of you may have a lot of prior experience, but remember, you have to take these courses in sequence. These courses have an asterisk next to them.
7th and 8th graders, you also may take team sports PE all year. So that's a full year. You can take it first semester, August through December, and you can continue again by taking it January through May. That's new for you 6th graders when you could only take team sports PE for one semester. So remember, 7th and 8th graders, if you want it for the full year, make sure you sign up.
Okay, if you're a pre-IB student or registering for next year to be a pre-IB student, remember that you must take all your classes, your academic classes must be pre-IB level, and you also must take a world language.
Finally, please remember that schedule changes will only be made for academic reasons. That means maybe you're in a standard history class and you want to challenge yourself and take advanced history. That's a schedule change that'll be approved. If you decide you don't like something, so maybe you thought you were really going to be interested in drama, but once you're in there, you decided, that's not for me, unfortunately, you're going to have to stick it out. So be very careful when you're making your course selections and read all the descriptions so you get exactly what you want.
Current 7th graders, listen up. This is information for current 7th graders that are choosing classes for next year's 8th grade.
All right, 7th graders. So when you get your course selection sheet, it will say 8th grade course selection sheet. That's because you're picking your classes for 8th grade. The first thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to decide, are you a student that's part of the traditional program where you can pick and choose standard or advanced classes? That's the left box on your form. Or are you a student that's pre-IB? That's the right box on your form. Please make sure you read the information in each box. Pick your academics accordingly. If you're pre-IB, remember you must take all pre-IB level classes plus a world language every year. So many of you will be taking high school credit classes such as Spanish 1, Algebra 1 Honors, or Geometry Honors. It's very important to make sure you're picking the correct classes, so talk with your teachers if you're not sure which classes you should be signing up for. In addition to that, we also have the career requirement. If you're a 7th grader now and you don't have the career and technology class in your schedule, you will be required to take the career class as an 8th grader. So it's important to keep in mind one of your electives is going to be a semester of career.
Encore classes are your electives. And yes, we need you to pick 10. Are you going to get 10 electives? Of course you're not going to. What you're going to do is you're going to meet with a counselor, and the ones that you want the most, like your 1s, your 2s, your 3s, we're going to put those in. And then the rest are going to become your alternates. Because remember, not everybody, once the computer is run, is going to get maybe their first choices. So we need some backup choices. Now, if you see a Y next to a course, that means it's a year-long course. And that means you're committing to be in that course from August to May. Why? Because schedule changes are for academic reasons only. So if you want a semester class, look for one that has an S. That means halfway through the year.
Continuing to talk about your encore and elective options. If you're interested in band, orchestra, or chorus, you'll select that course on your form, numbered 1 through 10, whatever the priority you'd like to give that course. You'll be entered into the beginning level course by the counselor, and then your teacher will tell us which course level you actually belong in. So Mr. Langston, for example, will tell us if you're going to go into band 1, 2, 3, or jazz band in addition to one of those. So again, you're only going into a beginning level course until your teacher tells us which level to place you in.
Sixth graders, listen up, it's your turn. This is information for current sixth graders that are choosing classes for next year, seventh grade.
Seventh grade course selection is very similar to eighth grade course selection. The left side of your form is going to have the traditional program. Again, you'll be making choices between standard and advanced classes for your academics. The right side of the form, you'll see a box for pre-IB. If you're going to be pre-IB, again remember, all pre-IB academic classes plus a world language are required every year. Please make sure you complete your academics first. And again, keep in mind that in middle school, in 7th or 8th grade, you will be required to take a career class. So you may get this class next year as a 7th grader or the following year as an 8th grader, but it will be required before you leave middle school.
So as a reminder, sixth graders, you also need to pick 10 courses for your encore selections. And also remember that why you're committing for a year-long course.
Sixth graders, again, we're reminding you that when you choose band, orchestra, or chorus, you will be placed in the beginning level until your teacher tells us which level you're going to be actually in. Like chorus 2, 3, or 4, that's going to come from Miss Parkhurst.
Here are some final reminders. Turn your completed form in to your science teacher by Friday, January 22nd.
If you lose your form, you can pick up a new form in the cafeteria. That's really important.
Parent signature is
required.
Thank you for listening today.
Questions about this, please make sure you ask for a pass to come to guidance.
Share this information with your parents.
And have a great afternoon. Oh, and one more thing. If you'd like to review this information at home, please make sure you check out the Millennium News YouTube channel.